Hello everyone, I'm Hao Tiansun from Nanjing Foreign Language School, Jiangsu, China. The state is destroyed, but the country remains. In the cities in spring, grass and weeds grow everywhere. I feel that this sentence, though written about the bleak capital after being sacked by rebel armies, coincided with the current civil situation I needed to confront and the worry I currently experiences during the global pandemic. During this winter vacation, I watched a BBC document called Du Fu, China's Greatest Poet. This document follows Michael Wood, the narrator in the document, through China as he retraces Du Fu's footsteps of his life. It records the cities and places, mountains and rivers that have retained marks of Du Fu left and recreates his experiences from his birth to his official career, from the prosperous Kaiyuan era to the war period, tracing the poet's wandering and drifting life. Du Fu was the greatest poet throughout Chinese history. His greatness is based on the consensus of readers for more than 1,000 years, and a rare coincidence of Chinese and Western literary standards. In the Chinese poetic tradition, Du Fu almost transcends judgment because, as with Shakespeare in the Western world, his literary achievements themselves have become an important part of the literary standards. The reason why Du Fu is so great is that he went beyond the limited scope of literary history. As a result, Du Fu and his poetry become a representative and symbol of the spiritual world of the Chinese people because of his status in the history of Chinese poetry and his representation and recreation of history in his poems. As pointed out in the film, Du Fu was not only a great poet, but also an interpreter of the moral values of a great civilization, playing an important role in shaping the values of the nation. Wood argues that there is no comparative figure in Western culture and civilization, a man who embodies the common value of the whole nation. Born in the diversified and inclusive Tang Dynasty, Du Fu's personal sympathy is very broad and has the power to transcend regions, cultures, and nationalities. Under the global pandemic, Du Fu stands up as one of the most representative cultural images. The timing of the BBC's screening of the film, to a certain extent, conveys the public spirit that is needed in the face of a crisis in the modern society. By writing about himself, Du Fu's poems reflect the background of the times and the common sincere feelings of human beings, thus become the poetic history of that area. In those troubled and turbulent times, Du Fu portrays the simplest and sincerest love of all people in the world. This love for human and humanities is a universal feeling that can transcend time and places, nations and languages, and reaches into the heart of all of us. Especially in the midst of the global pandemic, the gentle beauty of the poetry is universal, bringing a smoothing comfort. Besides, I have begun to perceive the high wall that had been erected along the national and ethical lines during the pandemic. In the common suffering of human beings, we may need Du Fu's love and sympathy that runs through human nature to eliminate racial and national prejudice and misunderstandings and utilize this to help us grow through this difficult time together. Thank you.